Hello, good evening. If you have not done this already with your children or even yourself as an adult, you have still got plenty of time to do this now. And that is to go acorn picking. Yes, it is that time of the year again, my favourite time of the year, autumn. And this year we have had so many oak trees, especially within the UK where I live, in the heart of the country. And they have been absolutely abundant with acorns. And when you have acorns, this is actually a wasp gall. Please feel free to watch one of my other videos about this, and I will do something more with these at a late stage. So forget about that for now. You get acorn cups and acorns. If you do go harvesting for them, there is so many things that you can do with these. What I try to do with my children, sadly we haven't done it over the last couple of years, is we try and pick up as many acorns as we can, and then we dig holes in random places and we see whether or not we can get them to germinate and hopefully self-set in places that obviously need more oak trees. There's a number of different ways that you can do this, and I will talk about different ways of germinating any acorns that you do decide to pick up if you choose to do so this year. And then obviously you have the acorn cup. Now, what usually happens and what will happen is as the acorns dry out and they become brown, no longer the beautiful green colour that they are, they shrink and they fall out of the cups onto the ground. And then over time, the tree may or may not also shed the cup in which the acorn is in. Now, there are so many things that you can do with these at this time of year, whether it's for food or decoration, for a autumn to winter hobby or activity with your children, or just for yourself. And one of the things that a lot of people have shown on social media is turning the actual acorn cups into mushrooms. Yes. So this is an acorn cup that I painted earlier with some red acrylic ink that I had left over. There is glitter in this. The only reason there is glitter in that is because I'm trying to use up my old stock of my art equipment. And what I have done is I have mixed it with what was left of my decoupage and varnish glue matte into the tub. So because I had some decoupage, varnish and glue left over, I tipped in a small pot of a red acrylic ink that I had lying around, and then some red glitter. Now, glitter, as you may or may not know, comes in a number of different forms, the most common one being that it's made of plastic. I know over the years glitter has changed, and not all of them is plastic, which then obviously turns into microplastics when disposed of incorrectly and inevitably ending up in a landfill. So if you do decide to decorate any of your acorn cups with paint or glue or acrylic like I have myself, or even glitter, then think about what you're going to do with them afterwards. The main reason, obviously, I have used this concoction is because I am doing an indoor activity, and the finished products will not be for outdoor display or for outdoor use. They will be for indoor only. And I would clearly and concisely, if I was, say, for example, selling this to somebody, would say, you know, this is, if you were going to make acorn cups into toadstools or into mushrooms and you wanted it for indoor, use this way of doing it. If you're looking at doing it so that it is an outdoor project, or you want to have a little fairy garden at the bottom of the garden for the children, and you know they want to like make a little house for their fairies, they want to make a little table, and they want to actually use the cups themselves, you know, for the fairies to drink out of, or to make a little toadstool fairy ring, then I would not recommend using any type of finish on them that could potentially be harmful or toxic to wildlife or to the environment. So I would never say, hey, if you're going to do fairies at the bottom of the garden with a magic toadstool ring, don't put glitter on it. Don't use paint. I mean, there are paints, obviously, you can use that are for outdoor use only. But again, they're not the sort of paints I would recommend that you would use with a child. They would be something that would be extremely heavy duty, and things that you would, say, for example, use to paint outdoor wooden furniture to preserve it. The same with any type of varnish or wood staining products. If you were going to do something simple like this with a child, hey, let's do fairies at the bottom of the garden, let's make little fairy cups for the fairies to drink out of, let's make a magic toadstool ring, you could quite easily and simply just do a little bit of DIY on the actual acorns cups as they are, done, dusted. You've not added anything to them, and they will be 100% biodegradable over time. But if you're looking at doing an indoor project, which is what I'm planning on doing, then you can afford to be a little bit more experimental and use things that maybe are going to be a little bit more long-standing, a little bit more durable, easy to clean. Obviously, I would never put anything like this in a sink. It will collect dust over time, so it would just literally be wipe it with a tissue to get any dust off this item, you know. And again, depending on the end product, making sure that it was a little bit more durable and there was less chance of the acorns themselves becoming damp or mouldy or rotten if used for an indoor environment and for an indoor project. I have not decorated the inside of the acorn at this moment in time, of the acorn cup, but I have the outside. As you can see, they are extremely small, very fragile, and they're fiddly. So if you are going to do a project like this with your children, if you don't mind a little bit of mess, it's fine. But if you don't want them to get dirty hands, wear gloves. And always, always, always wash your acorns before use. Make sure they are dried thoroughly before doing anything with them. And always wash your hands before and after doing an activity like this. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.